Hey guys, so I'm gonna make a video as I promised about our journey with Ariel and how she came about on her birth. So if you're ready to hear me talk for a long time, be prepared to sit down, get a cup of water, maybe some popcorn. I don't know. I'm just playing. But what else? Yeah, I hope you guys like me talking about her and showing off her cuteness. So just stay tuned. Okay guys, so let's go back to that day where I had my daughter, Ariel. She's right there, and she's trying to fall asleep, and she doesn't want to be in her car seat because she wants to feel her mom to go to sleep. And yeah, that's just how she's attached to me, and it's fine. I don't care. So let's see. Well, before going to the hospital on October 17th, I was going to the emergency room 4 times just because I would have a lot of spotting. Sorry if that was TMI for some people, but when it came down to my last pregnancy, that was definitely a red flag. So I wanted to be more cautious about my pregnancy and what was going on. So I did go. Everything seemed great. I was getting contractions, and I did let my OB know about it, and what he said was that it was fine, that my uterus was just growing, and I guess I was just like, okay, fine, but I'm having contractions. And so on a Friday night actually, I was trying to make her to move. She wasn't moving that much, and that was another red flag for me. So I don't drink soda, so I drank a lot of soda, a lot of sweets. I was moving her, I was shaking my stomach, well, not literally shaking, but like trying to get her to move, and counting her kicks. I know it was too early. I was only 24 weeks, and she wasn't moving. That Saturday morning, October 18th, I went to the hospital. I went to labor and delivery, and they were having trouble finding her heart rate, and they found it, but it was very faint to where they had to send the ultrasound guy to come and check. And the ultrasound guy was also trying to get her to move, and as far as his concern, he said that the baby was breached. So he was there for like 3 minutes. I was really scared. I mean, I was shaking out of it's unbelievable. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I was literally shaking like if I was cold, of how nervous I was, because I was afraid of getting bad news. So when he was finally done, because the nurses were rushing him, they're like, okay, you gotta get going because she can't be off the monitor. As soon as they're trying to put the monitor back on my stomach to find her heart rate went dropped. It wasn't normal anymore. They tried to inject me with steroids just to buy some time. They did let me know whether I was gonna have a baby today or the next day, or that day or the next day, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to have a baby just because I wasn't ready. It was a lot of news to process, and I just still couldn't wrap my head around that I was gonna have a baby at almost 7 months. So I was scared, definitely scared, and I was just concerned for the health of my baby. What else? So when they injected me with steroids, they wanted to buy time just to like make her lungs mature, just in case if she did come premature. So not even 5 minutes into it, her heart rate dropped some more, and it was a 1, 2, 3 thing, because as soon as I got there, And the doctor got there. They're like, you know what, we have to do an emergency surgery. So I went to the OR, and everything was so quick. I remember laying down. They transferred me to the OR bed or gurney, whatever it is, and I was just there with my hands extended, and they're asking me a lot of questions. They're asking me my name, my birthday, and I was just answering really quick because I felt the tension, I felt the pressure. So I was really, really scared. And I remember when they put the mask on me, I did not feel the gas or air going through. So I was just there looking around like, when are they gonna put the air or the mask to work? Because as soon as the doctor got there, he was like, I need to cut her now. And I was like, I just looked at the respiratory lady that was next to me, and I was like, I'm awake. And she's like, she just smiled at me with such, like, in her eyes there was so much, how do I say it, like calm, peace. And she just smiled at me and she said, it's okay. And she just opened up my throat, and I just remember counting to like maybe 6. And when I woke up, oh Jesus, when I woke up I felt like an elephant sat on my stomach, literally. I felt so heavy. And sorry. And I remember just not even opening my eyes. I was just like, where's my baby? I need to see my baby. Is she okay? I was in the recovery room where nobody is allowed to be in there. No visitors, no nothing. Just the people that are going through the situation. Okay, hold on. And so, what else? So I remember just asking for my daughter and making sure that she was okay. Nobody was saying anything to me until I felt my husband's hand, and he was hold on just a moment. It's the process of being a mother. Okay, so I felt my husband's hand, and he was holding my hand when I decided to pray. And this is gonna be very emotional to me because it's really, really hard to go through that and process a lot of information that you're just not ready for, and it's happening anyways. So I remember praying, and I told God that if he wanted to take her, that he could, and if he wanted her to be with him, he could take her, and that I was gonna be okay with it, and I wasn't gonna question it, simply just because that was his daughter first, then she was mine. I don't know, I'm not sure if some people out there are gonna understand where I'm coming from. I just feel like God, I don't know, I just remember praying to God and telling him, you know what, like, she was your daughter first. If you need her, take her. If you need to use her, take her. I'm okay. I'll accept it. I won't question it. I was just okay, and I just prayed to him, and I told him that I wish she was just fine. And I'm sorry. It's really emotional, and it does get to me because I did lose my son, my first pregnancy. So it was hard to say those words, to say and to be okay that that it's okay for your baby to let go. So I don't know if I was praying out loud, I remember just talking and talking to God and telling him that it was okay. So it was time for me to go to my room. And the guy that was in charge to take me to my room, he asked me, he's like, "Do you want to see your daughter?" And I said yes. And when I saw her, I'm not lying, she was so tiny. She was 12 inches. But her feet, I got to see her feet. They were like maybe this. Wait, not lying. Like this big. Her tiny feet. And she was a troublemaker, actually. She was just moving so much and pulling her wires, from what I was told, because I couldn't see her for 3 days. Since I had my surgery, I wasn't allowed to move. So when I did see her, I just saw her very calm and peaceful, and she was okay. But my OB, I remember speaking to my OB, and he told me not to have high hopes, to expect the worst. And I remember looking at him and telling him that she's gonna come home with me. Do you guys see that? She makes me happy. I just remember looking at him and telling him she's gonna come home with me. And I didn't care what anybody said to me about her being sick or her having trouble or having any issues. I didn't care what anybody said. I knew she was gonna come home with me. It was a feeling in my heart and my mind that nobody could change. It was then when I knew about how much faith I had in God. Something was telling me that she was gonna come home with me. And I remember my husband being upset because she would have issues sometimes. And I'm just like, don't worry, she's not gonna need anything. She's gonna come home with us. You'll see, she'll be doing a lot better. And she did. Of course, being in the NICU and having your baby there in the NICU, it's really hard, simply because there is a lot of stuff to deal with. Needles, syringes, wires, cables, pulse ox, tubes, and a lot. It's a lot to deal with, and your baby's so little, like it's hard to explain, to be honest. But I'm just glad she's here, and I'm happy. She did a lot to be here, and I seen her at her worst, and I seen her at her best, and I'm really happy to call her my daughter. I'm proud to be her mom. And how else can I explain this? It's an unconditional love, I would say. I don't know what it's to be a mom, because she is my first born child. So I know the love that is given to your kids. I understand that, because I have that love for my nephews and my nieces. So I just don't know or understand what's to be a mom until you have one. So I'm really happy, and I'm sorry I'm not keeping like a good eye contact. I just don't wanna cry or get emotional, and that's just my little disguise into not crying. Sorry. What else? She's a healthy baby as far as I'm concerned. She's just not she's just being monitored more than a full-term baby would. She has tons of doctors. She has eye doctors. She has high-risk clinics to attend. She has learning ability nurses that come home. I have nurses coming in and out of my house, so hey, I get to have fun with my daughter and see her grow, and she's doing fantastic. So yeah, I don't know how else to tell you guys my story. I did try to cut it short because a lot that had happened in the NICU, it was unbelievable. One thing I will tell you guys, I have had her, there was a point where they were trying to put her on my chest, to do skin to skin on her, because they said that it does help to, emotionally, it helps them to get better physically and emotionally and all that good stuff. And one day when they were trying to put her on my chest, her breathing stopped completely. I'm not kidding. She turned pale, like really, really yellow and purple, and it was horrible. It was hard to see just because you don't want to see your kid suffering that way. And I don't know if she was in pain through that whole entire time or if she needed my help, and I just felt useless. So I just always had high hopes, and I knew she was gonna come home. I was there as much as I could. There was times that I wasn't there, and I felt bad at times, but if there was nothing that I could have done, then what can I do, you know? So, oh, excuse me. So, yeah, I don't know what else to tell you guys, but that's her story and her situation, and she is about to be 5 months tomorrow. So this is her. Tomorrow's the 18th, right? Yes, tomorrow's the 18th. So she's trying to fall asleep, but she can't be without mommy or daddy. So yeah, I'm really happy that she's home. And people don't believe me that she's 5 months. Well, about to be 5 months. Literally 5 months, because tomorrow's gonna be the 18th. So yeah. So if she would have been full term, she would have been 2 months. Yeah. So that is her testimony. One thing I forgot to say, when she was born, it was a 0 and a 0 on her breathing and heart rate. So she was born practically dead. And this is why I say she's my miracle baby, because she wasn't breathing, she didn't have a heart rate, she was practically dead. She had to be brought back, and I don't know, I'm guessing that's why the doctor said not to have high hopes. But you know, I have faith and hope in God, and He helped me through my toughest times, and I hope that this is an example to some of you guys. And basically, have hope. Just try to pray to God, and He'll listen to you. Believe me. I mean, she's my how do you say? She's basically, I'm trying to find the right word for that. She's a witness. She's an example. She's everything of that Jesus does exist, and He does listen to you, and He will do anything in His power to make things right. And I don't know what else to say. I'm trying to think, what else did I leave out? Because I was trying to make it shorter than usual. But it is about to be 20 minutes of me just talking and talking. So, I think I'm going to cut it here. Let me know Let me know if you guys want to see more of Ariel. And she'll be right here with mommy. She's just doesn't want to fall asleep. Say hi to everybody, sweetie pie. Say hi. 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 Okay, guys. So I'll let you guys go. And thanks for watching, those that do watch, and for those that don't know me or my daughter, I hope this helps some of you guys. And if you guys are going through this, I'm sorry this is happening, but you know what, not a lot of people get to witness a miracle, and you're just one of those lucky people. And cherish every moment that you have. Take it day by day. Don't question it, and don't say what if and what about this, and maybe if this happened, maybe if I would have changed this. I mean, that doesn't matter now. What matters is that what's going on right now, in the moment, in the present, and if your baby's okay or not. So thank you for watching, guys, and I'll be making another video about her. So bye, guys. Say bye, Ariel.